Hello friends! In this video I will show how you can effectively fish, start a fire and cook food if caught with minimal supplies in a hypothetical survival situation. I use such a bright DIY fishing line in this video for presentation reasons only. As sad as it is that it could be found just about anywhere on our planet, using a clear plastic bottle would work even better. Of course, this is not the best fishing line out there, but it is rather a fishing line you could make from a plastic bottle in dire straits, even with a regular knife. I can testify that campfire cooked trout tastes delicious regardless of whether you used expensive gear or a plastic bottle to catch it. I cut a couple of 10-foot, 3-meter long polymer strands using my bottle cutter and tied a fishing hook using a snail knot. I use a medium-sized hook to fish in this stream to avoid catching baby trout, but technically you can tie small hooks to this DIY line as well. Once a fishing sinker is attached, our primitive hand-lined fishing gear is ready to be baited. Typically, I use earthworms to bait. In a real survival situation, you can make a fishing hook from an earring, a safety pin, a disposable lighter, or even a tin can. Just about any small piece of metal can be turned into a fishing hook and sinker. I've caught fish up to 4 pounds, 2 kilograms, using this survival line. Once you cast the baited line into the stream, you can expect to catch trout in 3 hours. I usually set my baited hand lines in the stream overnight, and almost every line has fish by the next morning. So my bushcraft fishing endeavors last almost 2 days. While waiting for the catch during the first day, I go mushrooming. If I'm lucky to find good mushrooms, why not spoil myself with a campfire cooked false morel mushroom dish? I usually fry them, but this time I decided to bake a mushroom egg scramble inside a potato. It turned out to be delicious, even though this particular mushroom is potentially fatal if eaten raw. False morels are a popular delicacy in Scandinavia, Eastern Europe, and the Upper Great Lakes region of North America. Okay, the coals are ready and it is time to bake our meal. The potato can be buried into the hot coals as is, but for best results, it is best to wrap it in foil. While I was boiling my tea over the fire, the delicious aroma wafting from the coals made my hungry stomach growl. Because my potato was so large, it took a grueling 30 minutes to cook through. An additional benefit to making this dish is that it doesn't require any cookware, just an optional piece of foil. This particular meal was especially satisfying knowing I used my own homegrown potato. Now that all my fishing lines are set, I can eat dinner, drink chaga tea and go to my shelter to settle down for the night. The next day, I caught some fish beside this rotting green branch on the ground. I took it home, dried it, stabilized it with resin, and made it into a beautiful handle for one of my knives. Last night, I casted 9 hand lines, which caught 5 trout by the next morning. By the way, the bright neon color of the DIY fishing line made it very noticeable to spot from a distance, making it easy to rediscover the next morning. During the second day of my fishing trip, as the day is coming to an end, I grew an appetite for some dinner. The trout needs to be gutted and scaled, but I made sure to be careful with this process as to not temper the gallbladder. If it were to get nicked, it could spoil the flavor of the fish. Starting a fire is one of the most satisfying moments during the fishing process. It has a sort of primal pleasure to it. There are many ways to start a fire. In this case, I'm using a ferrocerium rod and my knife to ignite some dry brush. This is debatably the most reliable method to starting a campfire. These 2 smallest fish were baked on skewers with some salt and pepper for seasoning. I recommend using curved sticks so that the fish can stay horizontal after sticking the stick into the ground. This will prevent the fish from drying out as the juices stay inside. The benefits to this cooking method are that it cooks faster than in a frying pan There is no need for oil, which could also spoil the natural flavor, and the smoke only adds more of a mouth-watering taste. If you liked this video, perhaps you could share it with your friends. Let good people watch good videos. This is Maxi Gorov, St. Petersburg, Russia. P.S. If you want to see how this rotted green stick became a handle for the knife, please leave me a comment below. And a final note, I only produce 1 or 2 videos max a month, and if you don't want to miss new content like this, you can click on the bell reminder for notifications. I hope to see you back on Advoko Makes.